Good morning from Nevada on the northeastern stretches of the Mojave Desert. Today we're going to be exploring a trail system known as the Logandale Trail System, not far outside of Valley of Fire State Park. Slim and I took a gravel road up to the starting point here of the Logandale Trail System, and I think that's the town of Logandale, Nevada. The town of Overton is down that way looking south, as well as Lake Mead, the Lake Mead recreation area, as well as the eastern entrance of Valley of Fire State Park. All right, here we go. Let's get onto the road here and I'll tell you a little bit more about the trail. Everything should be set. I've got all cameras locked and loaded, drones with me, and we got Slim and me. So we're ready to hit the trail. Logandale Trail 13-mile loop. Yee-haw. So in Onyx, I was reading the trail description that the user who created this route described, and he does mention towering sandstone rock foundation, like, I don't know, I can't talk. Towering sandstone red rock formations is how it was described, and that sounds right on. And I know that not far from here at Valley of Fire, you find plenty of that. Although when you look at the landscape, you're like, what the heck are you talking about, man? This is pretty, it's pretty, but it's, we've seen better. As for trail stats in particulars, the user on Onyx gave this a 3 out of 10. And the only thing that was mentioned is that there's an approach or a small climb that the user says, oh, it's kind of sketch. But then he goes on and says, oh, it's really easy for stock 4x4s. So you never know what people really mean, because the person that wrote that could have been in something much more capable than this. Although this is a pretty capable vehicle, I would say. But I suspect the road's not going to continue to be like a nice graded gravel road like this. I'm expecting it to turn into dirt, but a 3 out of 10, usually on Onyx, that should mean easy for the likes of us, but we've had it go other ways too. So you never know what you're going to get, like Forrest Gump used to say with that box of chocolates. And speaking of Onyx off-road, if you're really dabbling around with this, or you want an application that really excels at navigation, think Google Maps, but for off-roading, for dirt roads, for things that I personally find Google struggles with a lot. That's really what Onyx is. It's a nice visual way to navigate the landscapes that we do, and it's done an excellent job. So we'll put a link in the description below to that tool if you're interested in looking at it. If you want to dabble around in this, we've been loving it. So. Alrighty, we have made it to the Red Rocks, and it does not disappoint. It's like peekaboo, here I am. Wow, this is like 100 times my expectations. I thought we were gonna see like small pockets of this, but nothing on the scales of Valley of Fire like this. This is full on like Valley of Fire, and if you were to follow this, I suspect this runs into Valley of Fire. So, but anyway, all of these trails in our route today cuts through all of this stuff. And here's the thing about the Logandale Recreational Trail Systems, and it just talks about it's a partnership between the Bureau of Land Management and the Las Vegas Field Office and the Valley of Fire State Park. So it's basically giving you a backcountry Valley of Fire-like experience here. And I didn't know about this until I was planning this trip, and oh, this is awesome. Although my view is obstructed a lot by the landscape here, I can already see crisscrossing trails. Just a vast network of trails that crisscrosses through here of varying difficulties. There are trails that are rated far difficult than what I would be willing to have Slim attempt. So a lot of rock crawling, stuff like that. So as you know, if you watch our show, I'm not here for the machismo excitement. I'm here just for the beauty and history, petroglyphs, stuff like that. And somewhere in there are petroglyphs. want to say you already see the road splits, and I don't know if that's the like one of the crisscrossing trails that goes down, but I think our route sticks to the top, and we haven't actually officially hit the loop yet. We're very close where we get onto the loop, and I'm gonna drive it. Let's see, I'm gonna do it in a clockwise direction. I don't know if there's a preference to it, but it's what we're doing, because I'm gonna save the petroglyphs for the way back, which is where we're gonna find them. All right, Logandale Trails, let's hook up with the main route. Not sure if it was that road going down into it or up above. So we'll have to find out now with my Onyx maps. I want to say down there in that area I was filming with the drone, I see on my map is that one of the networks of crisscrossing trails that goes all in there, and I bet you that right there to the right is how you get down in that. We're gonna stick to the main loop. It's a scouting mission. Not here to be fancy today, just here to experience it for the first time and show you guys also. Maybe it's a good starting off point for some of you off-roaders out there that like to do more adventurous things than I do. All right, yeah, this is the route proper according to Onyx. I'm on it, and we are now, yeah, straddling this hillside with these amazing views. Wow. Who knows, maybe it might be blasphemy for me to say it, but I might end up liking this more than Valley of Fire itself, mainly because of being able to get airborne back here. And we're on pavement all of a sudden. Now we're driving on sand here. I am gonna put it in 4-wheel because I'm spinning. You see that? I'm stuck in the sand, technically. There's your answer for that person that's going to ask me, should I have 4-wheel drive to do this? I would say, right there's your proof. I also have locking differentials front and rear on this truck, by the way. I never really mentioned that, but some people get worried about me. And I take some risks, I guess, but I got some secret weapons on here where if I really got stuck or something, I think that would hopefully be my ticket out. We're deep in here in the trail system, making good progress already. I think the user said a lot 4 hours for this, and perhaps they were doing so because to account for taking cross trails and stuff like that, but I don't really plan on doing that. Just gonna stick to the loop, so whether or not this takes a full 4 hours even with filming or whatever, I'm not sure yet. I decided to pull over briefly again just to kind of talk about the road conditions for those of you that might want to consider doing this, especially those of you that may not know you're getting yourself into. You could probably make it to that overlook where we started in a regular car, but I mentioned, you know, right off the bat, as soon as I hit sand and 2-wheel drive, I got stuck immediately. Put it in 4-wheel drive and I have not had a problem since. But you can see there's stretches here that are very deep sand, and I imagine conditions back here can change often with the wind blowing and all that kind of stuff, which it does a lot out here, trust me. So you want to be really careful about that. So this is one of those things where I would say a 4-wheel drive, like a stock 4x4, it's not a clearance issue so far, so much as a traction issue and being able to navigate through deep sand like that. there's your real word of caution for the day, is that I would say that might be your biggest hazard depending on your setup. And you know, it's a little remote. There's some towns out there, as you saw, but we're getting pretty far back in here during the week too, and I don't reckon we're gonna run into too many people on a Monday, so you wanna be careful. But it's worth it if you can do it. Probably one of the best off-roading journeys I've had so far. It's clicking. We're gonna hustle through some of these areas here. Whoa. I'm loving this, man. This is fun. Slim, this might be the most fun I've had in you ever driving through this here. This is awesome, but yeah, very sandy. I don't think I was prepared for how sandy this was actually going to be, so shame on me for not being better prepared, but we're gonna continue here. We're not stopping. Whoa, there's some deep sand right there. I could really open it up here, Slim, now. Let's get some excitement and adventure here. Woo! Yeah, we got a lot of slippage, that's for sure. Holy crap, this is deep sand. Looks like I'm hesitant to stop, but it's a really strange sensation. It's just so smooth. It's like the best surface you could drive on for risk of getting stuck, I guess, but... And it's like, you know, I'm being careful, but Slim's doing great. A different experience, for sure. You could feel him digging in. Look at some of these cliffs back here too. There's how you can get in trouble if you're not careful. I'm having fun with this, if you can't tell. All right, here's some, I don't know if that's deep sand or hard packed sand. It looks like it might be kind of hard packed. No, I guess not. Yeah, this is pretty much all sand so far. Nothing but. I don't know what the other route coming back looks like, but I love this, man. I love this. We're still making our way. I would say we're not at the pinnacle of the loop where we turn around and turn the other direction, but we're getting there. Whoa, this is awesome. This is fun. Look at this. It's like a little roller coaster here. It's just fun maneuvering this truck in this sand like this. Hope I'm not asking for problems, but very bumpy little kiddie roller coaster is what it feels like. It's just so smooth. I just feel like I'm gliding here. I can't get over that sensation. It's a new sensation. Never driven on sand before like this. But I bought Slim to do stuff like this, so not to sit there and look at it. Oh, look at these awesome formations up here too. It just never ends. I didn't know you would be so immersed in this red rock landscape like this. That is the unexpected awesomeness of this route. Making pretty good time too. It's only 10 in the morning now. I've been stopping a lot to set up shots and do stuff with the drone, so it's going a little slower than if I were to just, you know, drive through and blow through it all. But hopefully it's a nice little scenic drive for you all and you're enjoying it and get to see something different that you may not normally get to see. There's a lot of crisscrossing roads, which essentially are the same thing. I don't know why multiple paths have been made through here, just time and people making their own routes, I guess. But they all connect up at the end of the day. So once again, use something like Onyx and you'll pretty much be good to go. And then have some awareness of, you know, your route and stuff in case you have to backtrack and get out. Kind of want to explore one of these areas really quick on foot. So I'm gonna, you know, go back into these red rocks and we'll take a look at some of the sand dunes that I see. Maybe it's probably a little too late in the day at this point, but you never know. You might run into bighorn sheep. I ran into lots of them, like multiple times in Valley of Fire. So I know they're out here. Where are you, bighorn sheep? I'm scouting out campsites too to see if there are any little BLM dispersed camping sites back here, because this would be a primo place to camp. See how the sand dunes pile up against the wind blows it up on these big cliffs back here. Amazing. I hear another side-by-side coming through. Let's see. I think I pulled over plenty for them to get through. I'm in my element here. The cool thing about sandstone too is you can actually climb up it pretty easily, I find anyway. And there they go, the four-wheelers. It's probably more common what you'd see back here are vehicles like that. And like the description said by the user, you're gonna be driving amongst towering sandstone formations, and just as the salesperson said, it exactly is what was being sold. We came through there. All right, I just wanted to kind of show you this landscape on foot. We've been looking at it by air, by car. I need to stretch my legs a little bit too, and just digging it. I stopped and looked at my map just to see where I'm at, and we are on course still. And I guess the petroglyphs, we still have a little ways to go. I'm gonna guess a couple miles, but I see how this works now. I'm wondering if this is the tough spot that the user mentioned, where there's like kind of a hard climb here, but the guys in the side-by-side were like, not sure about which way to go, but this does appear to be the right way. I was gonna go the wrong way and they were out on foot scouting, so there are some big rocks. I would say nothing that's a problem for Slim here, but those guys were kind of amazed by me taking a pickup truck out here. They're like, wow, that's awesome. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Slim's got this, man. Slim's got this, but we made it to the top. Nice. I think I see the road down that ways, but I'm gonna kind of scout. There's the road right there. Right here on this rock crawl. Alrighty, Slim, you got that, buddy. There we go. That was not bad at all. So I see what they're saying is where I thought I was gonna turn. I was being a little bit premature, but we made it. That is a funny thing though, when I meet certain people out on the road, especially the side-by-siders, they're always kind of amazed, like, holy crap, how did you get back here? I don't know. Wasn't a big deal. Was not a big deal at all. I don't know if people realize that the ZR2 version of the Colorado is packed with, it's meant for this. It's designed for this, so I'll let these guys go. Oh, they're gonna let me go, so. Okay, so here's that sharp turn I think I've been looking for. Coming up soon. Sand gets a lot deeper the further back you go also, so that's a good thing to know if you're wanting to do what I'm doing here. Oh yeah, that sand's really deep. All right, our turn should be a sharp left here, I think. Is it this one? Let's see here, let me zoom in. It's hard to tell by that. I think we gotta go left here. Checking Onyx out. I think this is right for our 13-mile loop. It's looking good, but yeah, this sand back here is really, really deep. Oh, don't go that way. Oh, yeah, go slow here. There's some steps here you gotta be careful of in these rocks. Ugh, oofta. All right, petroglyphs, I'm coming for you, man. I don't know where you are yet, but let's take another look at the map. All right, so the petroglyphs are basically gonna be located, it looks, once my map updates, somewhere down, I think we're gonna go around this point, this rock point in front of me. The road's gonna go all the way around and head back the opposite direction, and it's somewhere up here where that turn is where those petroglyphs are going to be. And I don't know if we have to go seek them out on foot. I mean, certainly on foot, but I don't know if it's a hike, if it's like right there or not. Apparently there are signs that the Onyx user said to look out for when you get close. And we are getting close. Whoa, pretty like some off camera. Oh, bighorn sheep, you see them? You see them? They're right there. There's 3 of them. 3 male. I'm gonna pull over and say hello. I am like seeing so many of those things on this trip. It's insane. Let's park over here. People can go around me, I think. They're just all looking. I've only seen 1 female. Everything else is male. Whereas on other trips, it was the opposite. I've rarely see the males with the horns and only see the female ones. So maybe it's the time of the year that matters. Maybe it's mating season. There are 3 really large male right there. They're bighorn sheep. They're usually kind of skittish, and I don't like to bother animals, but now that one's turning around to face off. What are you guys doing? I'm so happy we got to see some bighorn sheep, though. I told you there's a good chance. I'm just surprised, and maybe I'm just ignorant, but I'm surprised at how many I'm seeing like more towards the midday, where usually it's like in the early morning and late afternoon where I have more luck, and I've seen them then too. Y'all confuse me. They're like, I don't care. They're staring at me now. They're like, haha, you can't get us now, Buster. What are you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna go find some petroglyphs. That's what I'm gonna do. I am so stoked those bighorn sheep came out to play. They're still up there staring. I was able to get the other camera out and zoom in too. But we gotta continue. We're gonna be getting off on foot just in a few minutes too, when we get up to these petroglyphs somewhere up here. Still doing great though. This has been an awesome off-pavement adventure. I would say my favorite of this year so far, just based on the, it's something new and unique, different for me. It's not more of the same. So the sandy conditions, the red rock country, and being able to drive through it like this, there's a novelty to it, I must admit, but I mean, you can't beat these landscapes either. I don't know if anything competes with it in my mind this year, although I've been to some fantastic places thus far. There's just something about the Valley of Fire, this area, and these red rock landscapes that is just, it's my thing, it's me, it's in my soul. It's the only way I can describe it. I should have been studying my maps more carefully because I think I misread the map, or I don't know what I did, but the petroglyphs are back there. We passed the location where they are, gosh darn it. The 13-mile petroglyphs are what they're called. I did not see any signs, and there's like so many crisscrossing roads that it's possible that I just took one and bypassed it on accident. I don't know, but it's kind of back there, so I'm not going to actually go back. But the trade-off is the bighorn sheep and the awesome red rock landscapes that we're about to re-enter as we swing around the backside of this loop shortly. But yeah, this part out here is not particularly interesting to me, but this would be our turn, I think, to go back. This is the loop, the top of the loop, I would say. I don't know if I would call it the halfway point yet, but we're probably close to a halfway point through our journey. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this guy off until I see something more red rock or amazing. Wanted to capture this moment because I am actually stuck in the moment. I was going up a small hill, pretty deep with sand, and in regular, like 4 high, I got stuck. So I got it in 4 low now. See if we can crawl up here. He doesn't want to go. So I'm gonna reverse Slim, take him back down the hill, and then we'll go back up. Come on, buddy, you got this. Here he goes. Oh la la. This road's very deceiving here. I can't really see what I'm getting stuck on in that. That's so weird. Oh, I see, right there. There's like, I don't know if you could see that sand, but my wheels got stuck there. It's a pretty deep section, so I'm gonna try to back it up and try it again. Ready? The irony here is I thought, okay, it wouldn't be sandy out in these parts, but holy crap, that was probably the most difficult spot I've ever encountered in my journeys with Slim. He really was struggling on that. It's these uphill sections where the sand can pile up, and I don't know if I'm out of the woods yet. I'm not worried. I know I can go back the way I came, and all this is downhill, but my goodness, was this a pain in the butt. Took me like at least 4 attempts. So yes, 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 air down your tires next time, buddy. I get it. Oh, and the view up here is spectacular, so we can kind of survey if I could find a good place to pull over here soon to explain where we've come from and where we're heading. I think I see exactly how this is gonna work. And this part I like, it's bumpy, but I got grip, so. Let's stop here. I don't think there's anybody coming, so I'm gonna just pause here, get some photos, and we'll enjoy the landscape from up high. Somewhere in that big mess would be your petroglyphs. Somewhere back on the road on the other side of those, but we basically drove around that whole strip of red rock, came out that ways, went around this hill, and where I started to have trouble was on the upward ascent up this hill, just some really deep stacked up sand, and Slim was not happy about it. I didn't use my locking diffs. I probably just should have done that, and I would have been out of here in one fell swoop, I think, but I got it. I figured it out. What we should be doing, if I'm paying more attention to the map and being careful because I missed those darn petroglyphs. But basically we're taking this road, I think you see that red rock out there, we're supposed to go around it, back into that wilderness, and then probably back down on the other side of the way we came in to get back to the, to close the loop basically. So I think what we're essentially doing is driving the wide way around all that, gonna re-enter it, and then we'll be on our way. All right, comparing this to my Onyx map and what the land parcels are, my God, this is bumpy. that should be Valley of Fire, or part of Valley of Fire is straight in front of us. I don't think we're right on like the White Domes or the end of White Domes Road, if you know what I'm talking about. That might be a little bit further south from here. But I know the two lands, the BLM and Valley of Fire, border each other, and we're going to be crossing over one sliver of Valley of Fire to get back to stay on course here. This is miserable. All right, another reason to probably air my tires down, although I don't know how much that would help with this, but probably to some extent. I want to know the physics, or what causes these. Is it the wind? And like they're just so rhythmic, and like there's a frequency, a constant frequency it seems to the bumps. So I'm curious how they form. And how do they become this ugly compared to the usual variety, which is more just annoying? I'm gonna get whiplash. I think I'm gonna start taking the airing down of tires more seriously and just try to utilize my time, maybe slow things down a bit so I can prepare, because I think I try to jam too much in on my trip. So I always feel like I'm racing the clock, because I literally am if I'm gonna get everything done. And then I cut corners. I'm like, I'll just do this one without airing down my tires today. Mainly because of the airing up process. I don't know, I think I have a middle of the road compressor. It might take like a half hour, 40 minutes or something like that. I don't know. So it's the time basically, and it's not a good excuse probably. All right, let's continue down this road and head back into our Red Rock Wonderland. It's really bumpy here. You get a lot of variety, I guess, on this trail. Huh. Well, I guess we're heading down to a wash, looks like, and that's where we're gonna turn right. I think you can see the wash down there. I'm assuming it's some kind of wash, or maybe it's just the road. All right, this part's interesting. Where is the road? I might actually have to get out on foot and survey this. This is not really a road, in my opinion. This is just a sandstone slope. I need to find a good way down here, because there's some ugliness. Let's go take a look at this. This is worrisome, actually. This is very worrisome. Did I miss something? I think I missed something, actually. Huh. This is where I quite frankly get annoyed, I guess, by some users' reviews on Onyx, because this trail, because of this obstacle here, is way more than a 3 compared to any other 3 that I've done. So are you freaking kidding me? Like, as the guy said, oh, well, there's one part. I think this is the part where any stock 4x4 can make it. I believe we can. We got to study this carefully, but you can see others that come back here have much higher clearance and probably a smaller vehicle than what I'm dealing with. So that's where that's that thing I said earlier, you never know what you're gonna get. So let's go study this together and formulate a plan. One option, of course, is to turn around, which I really don't want to. I just don't know. I mean, that looks ugly to me. And it's just really coming down off of it. We're scraping the back side of my truck that I'm really the most worried about with that. That's more than I've ever done. And I'm by myself. You guys call this a 3? Come on, man. You're out of your mind. Not if you're gonna call other things a 3. It's always that basis of comparison. Yeah, I think this might be the best option. Darn it. I think I'm on. Maybe not, I'm not lined up perfectly yet, so let's back up a little bit here. There we go, that's looking better. That's looking straight now. It's like I can't see over the hood of my car. I need to get me one of those trail cams, I think. We're about to approach, we're on the thing now. So here we go, Slim. Come on, buddy, let's just go really, really slow. I'm gonna move the drone around too. I'm gonna just stop here. let's move the drone off a little bit to the side here so I can get a better view of this part here. It's really wanting to make sure I don't scrape the bottom of my truck. Maybe I'm being a wimp here. You know, this might not be that bad until it is. I'm looking at my lap where the drone control is. Look at that. Look at that. I got the front down. I did not scrape. Wow. Okay, I got the back tire down. Don't hit the back. Don't hit the back. Oh, I barely clipped the back. Barely. Barely. It felt like I'm gonna go survey and make sure I didn't damage anything, but I felt it very at that last drop off. Took a chance on that, but we made it. That was the worst of it. 3 out of 10 though. Come on, dude. This is not. Come on. I have 10 inches of ground clearance, I believe, in Slim out of the factory. I don't have big tires on them. I'd like to, but we'll have to see in the future about that. But anyway, woo! We did it. I think if you were in a Jeep or something with a tighter wheelbase, you wouldn't have, I wouldn't have made contact. It was just barely. But if you're in a bigger vehicle or something with a larger wheelbase, I don't know, I guess if you don't mind scratching something up, you might be okay. But let me hear your guys' opinion that do this stuff. Is this a 3 out of 10 because of this one obstacle? Let's just make it this way. If you're in a stock 4x4, which is what I'm in, I have not done any modifications to mine. And I would argue mine has more in it than a lot of others. I've got the locking diffs. The ZR2 comes with some stuff packed in it. But clearance with those wheels, it could do better. I wish GM would consider making it easier to put bigger wheels on this thing, because you'd have to modify the truck to be able to do that. Get comments from time to time from the machismo type saying, oh yeah, no problem or whatever. But yeah, I like to remind people I'm not here for the thrills so much as I am for the beauty and the history when we seek out stuff. That's why I got this, was to get a little bit more off the beaten path, but not to get crazy with it. All right, let's continue down the road. Actually, I don't know if I need to crawl anymore. I got the drone up and surveyed this road for a little bit, and so long as it follows the wash, it looks like a gravel road almost. I don't know if they put gravel in here, if it's just naturally occurring, but yeah, this part looks hopefully easy. I keep saying that and I get myself in trouble every time I open my mouth, don't I? did my little excursion in the air, got everything packed up, we're good. continue on down the road here. Had some finagling to do with the GoPros because I always have to, eventually change a battery. I don't know if other GoPro users, if the changing of the battery is a nail-biting thing where you're like, okay, what's going to go wrong this time? There just seem to be a lot of syncing issues and stuff around that. Sometimes the GoPros behave beautifully, and then sometimes they misbehave very poorly. Today, kind of in the middle, I'd say. All right, so we're gonna cut through this corner of the BLM property and then back out into Valley of Fire for just a minute or two. Then I should think we're back on BLM. Then it looks like maybe back on Valley of Fire. So kind of an altering thing. But I would say 90% of it's on BLM at this point. There's that side-by-side. I saw them pull over here. Is there a point of interest here? I guess they're just chilling, taking pictures and stuff. The gravel road, like in this wash, continues straight, and I was like, that has to be the main road, but it was the wrong way. There's this gnarly looking spot here that I have to go up. I was like, that can't possibly be the road. That's probably just more trails that people made. And I just saw the side-by-side go vertical up over the thing, but I'm not in a side-by-side. There's two different ways here, but there's some ugly, high clearance looking stuff. So I'm gonna have to get out again, and I'm gonna back up here and try to get a better line to this guy. What a pain. Problem is I don't know what's on the other side of this freaking hill or which one I should do. The road proper, or that post is there, but there's a really big drop off. So 3 out of 10, we'll see. I think the road goes this way. You got a good 2.5 foot step there, or you go up this way. But what's on the other side, I do not know. I need to get one of those trail cams people are talking about so I can see. Maybe it's not that bad. This probably is my line. Unless there's a big drop, and there is a big drop. But I think we got that. Side by side took this hill, which I could do too, I guess. That actually might, well, I don't know, that's pretty steep. That's very steep. But I think I can get it. I think this middle route is my best bet though. I don't know if he intends on going that way or if he's making the same mistake I did. But that's the mistake I made, because it appears that the road continues to go that way and then it really deteriorates fast. So if I stayed up here, I wouldn't be surprised if he turns around soon, but I'm not gonna wait. I wanted to get a shot of him coming up this to show you, but what we're gonna do is take this middle route and then we're just gonna, I guess, go straight up and over. Looks like there's more weirdness up there too. He's coming back. I knew he would. I'll wave him up this way. Take the benefit of watching which line he takes, which way he goes. Oh. He's going up that way. And I'm gonna guess he's gonna swing right, or? Oh, he's coming back this way now. Oh well. All right, here we go up this little section. I'm taking that middle route. I think I could get that steep one too if I really wanted to, but we're gonna crawl this in low and try not to scrape the sides of my truck coming up this thing here. It's hard to, it's a tall order when you can't really see. You just gotta have some faith, I guess, that you're up and over. Gosh dang, man. All right, we did it. That was pretty easy actually. That wasn't too bad. This side of the trail is much more difficult though than the first part. So I could see why they said this would be a 4-hour adventure. It's been 4 hours for me, and we're not even done yet. I'd say we're well over halfway, hopefully, but we still got a ways to go. Yeah, trail cam is gonna be like my next purchase for this truck, because hope nobody's coming on a side-by-side up this thing too fast, because... Come on, Slim. That's steep. It's steep. It's steep. We gotta turn at the top, and we got it. We got it. We got it. And now we're home free, I think. Woohoo! We did it. That was a little tricky spot. For me, anyway. On my map, we should be at the point where we're kind of closing off this loop, kind of recognizing this little area. I think that was the spot where I was like, oh, there's a road that comes down in here and then one that goes back up. And I think this is where we came down. We first started encountering the sand. Yep. So we are officially, I think we officially closed the loop. If I'm reading my map right, I'm zoomed out a little, so I could be a little off, but no, it sure does look like where we need to go. Oh, I took this weird route right here through the sand. The exciting route, I guess. Hopefully this connects back up. You see how that works there? There's lots of weird roads that just kind of, you could take multiple ways in and out of this thing. And there's the people I saw this morning. Let's see if they wave to me on the way out. I'd like to get one of those vans maybe. Those things look comfortable and you could really do a lot with that actually, especially if you're like me. Big potholes. This is worse right here than the whole route, I'd say, the potholes. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Slim and I made it out unscathed other than just kissing the back of that hitch mount on the back on that one obstacle. You're looking good, Slim. You did good. You need a bath, but we made it. I think really not horrible, but I do want to say a couple words about my opinion about the difficulty of the trail. So the Onyx user that I studied gave it a 3 out of 10, which is typically on their scale an easy. The only issue I have with that, as I always say, is I do a lot of trails. You can watch our other videos, and I usually mention those user ratings, and I've done other 3 out of 10s that were nothing like this. So 3 out of 10, easy to me in a stock 4x4 means I don't have to think about it. I don't have to get out and study what line I'm gonna take or anything like that. Another 3 out of 10 that I can compare it to would be another off-road route I did on Sasko Road and near Tucson. I wanna say it was even a 4 out of 10 when I did it, and they lowered it, if I'm thinking correctly. So you can't call that a 3 or 4 out of 10 and then simultaneously call this a 3 out of 10. It's just, they don't reconcile that way. All right, folks, the Logandale Trail system, you got to see one of the main loops that someone plotted through it. Many other trails we didn't explore, probably best suited for four-wheelers, side-by-sides, whatnot, but an amazing time, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hope some of you get to come out here and maybe I taught you something, and then for the rest of you that don't do this kind of thing, hopefully you get enjoyment by doing it virtually with us. And on that note, I'm just gonna end it here and say come back next week for another video like this, and we'll see you then. Bye.